You're tuned into Human by AI with Ashish Garg. Real, unscripted conversations about how humans and AI are shaping the future of community finance. Grab your favorite drink and let's dive in.
Okay, welcome to another edition of Human by AI. We're recording in Washington, D.C. It's very, very cold out there. We're at this event called GAC 2026. At lunch today, I met this gentleman sitting on my left. I've known him for a very long time. Finally had lunch together. And what a wonderful conversation we had. So, Jeff, first of all, sir, can you tell our audience a little bit about you? Where do you live? What do you do? Where do you work? And what brought you to the credit union movement?
Okay, so Jeffrey Staw, I'm the Chief Information Innovation Officer at Firefighters First Credit Union. I live right outside Denver, Colorado. I love the mountains and skiing and all the great things about living in Colorado, which is why I stay there. But it's great because our credit union is based out of Los Angeles. We're nationwide, but we have a largely remote culture. So it allows me to have a great time in Colorado while I'm doing my work remotely in LA. I've been in the credit union industry for about a decade. Prior to Firefighters First, I was with Open Technology Solutions, which is, the people don't know, it's a large QSO. That's the technology for three of the country's largest credit unions. So it's a super challenging position, staying ahead, staying on board, making systems scale. And having the experience there was great, going to a somewhat smaller institution, being able to take some of the big lessons and apply them to a shop that is growing, a shop that has real meaning and real value. So it's been a cool journey.
I see. Awesome. And let's talk about Firefighters Credit Union for a moment. Is it in a particular region? Is it in a state? Like, how does a credit union operate?
So we have, I think, 16 branches now in 7 or 8 states. We are nationwide. So we have a federal charter nationwide, and we service exclusively active and retired firefighters. So we have a very tight field of membership. We treat them like they are our family. It's exclusive club.
Wow.
So it's a cool thing. I think it really exemplifies the credit union model and the service ethos.
It's an exclusive club for firefighters.
Yeah, and only firefighters.
And only firefighters.
Right. If I guess you could be a family member, but you can't be a mechanic, or you can't be a police officer. You can't even be a volunteer firefighter.
I see.
So it's a special club.
And either existing, on duty, and retired.
That's correct.
Are they in particular states?
All states.
All states.
We were LA firemen for a long time, so we're California heavy, Los Angeles heavy. But over the last 10 years or so, we've been moving across the country. And in fact, we just opened up a new headquarters in Nashville just this last week. So we're really moving into the East.
Oh, really? Nashville, Tennessee.
Yeah,
I see. And I love this word you use called a club. That sounds very exclusive, very interesting. So tell us about this concept of a club. Like, what is so unique about this club for firefighters, the way the credit union operates?
Yeah, so we see firefighters as having very unique needs. They have interesting work schedules. They work for 2 days and they take a couple of days off. They have retirement needs, so they work physical labor. They have relatively short careers, so they retire early. We have to make sure that they're well prepared for their retirement. So we try to advise them and help them and make sure that they're financially prepared for their futures. And I think this is really what the model credit union is supposed to do. And I like to think that we push it to the edge. We really give these guys everything we've got. It's cool when you have this group of really important people, this purpose-driven people, because it gives you a North Star to work towards. Every decision that I make, I could say, hey, is this best for the firefighters? Because it's really easy for me to say yes or no, and it makes decisioning rather easy. And it makes our vision clear and our direction clear.
Yeah. And Jeff, if I may digress and tell you a story, sir. So I came to America as a graduate student from India. Firefighting exists in India, but it's not as big as it is in America. I landed in America on the 1st of September, 2001. 9/1/2001. 11 days later, or 10 days later, 9/11 happened.
Sure.
And what blew my mind is when the Twin Towers were struck. People are running out. Firefighters are running in.
That's right. So in that same sense, it's an honor to serve the people
Amazing.
who run in when we all run away.
Amazing.
Right? I get a little bit emotional about it because it's great. I mean, I really enjoy having a purpose with this credit union.
Yeah.
I like nothing bad about other credit unions, but I think you look at the credit union model these days, it's an expansion model, right?
Yeah.
You need to scale, you need to get bigger, you need to pay for your bills, security is more expensive. So you do whatever you can to try to grow your field of membership. In our case, that's not what we're interested in because we want to honor these guys.
Yeah.
And we want to make sure that they have the best that they possibly can have. And we feel like this tight bond, this exclusive membership is the way to service them the best.
Amazing. And I'm loving what you're saying in spirit that we're going to give them the best. We're not that tight bond. So now let's talk about our main topic, human by AI.
Nice.
So Jeff, can you tell me from your vantage point, where can you apply AI in your credit union that tightens that bond even more?
So, okay, it's a great question. Because I'm a person, I think I'm an AI enthusiast. I think there are a lot of great ways you can apply AI, but how do you do this in a way that really applies it to our specific situation with our membership and credit union? I like to think about this concept of the emotional connection with the credit union. I want every one of our members to feel like we're part of their family. They're emotionally involved with us. And I think that it's hard to scale that because classically those are human interactions. And we're growing, and I struggle to staff enough people to keep the human interactions going as strongly as they were when we were much smaller.
Yeah.
So I think AI is a tool that can help us keep that emotional bond with the credit union as we scale. Because I think that there are times where we can use AI to help us determine, is this the best interaction for a human or is this the best interaction for a machine? And in fact, I think a lot of people will say, well, human interactions are always better, but that's not the case. I think we all know that when we want to go check our balance, we don't really want to talk to a human. We talk to a human because we have to. Or, there's things you can do in a Walmart that you really don't want to talk to a person. I use self-checkout no matter where I go. Right?
I'm just like you.
It may not be faster.
Yeah.
But I don't have to talk to anybody.
Hey, thank you.
Right? And that's a value to me. That's helpful. So I think that there's some of this that we could apply to the credit union industry and help strengthen that bond, whether it be through human interaction or it be through technology-guided interactions.
Yeah.
But the AI is a great tool at helping us understand how that preference can really be made. And then that preference is not the same every single time.
Bingo.
Right? Because once in a while,
Yeah.
when I go to the supermarket, I do go through the checkout line. You know what? Okay, so the example is when I have a coupon.
Yeah.
Right? Because I know that I go through self-checkout, I scan the coupon, then the person's got to come over and approve my coupon.
Exactly.
And so, okay, that is a pain in the butt. So I'm going to go to the staffed checkout line if I have a coupon.
Yeah.
Right? That's the thing that AI can easily help us figure it out.
And I love what you're saying is that preferences are very individual and not just that, they're determined on the situations.
Yeah.
Having a coupon versus not.
Right. Right. Because the way you perceive it and the way I perceive it are different. And the way you perceive it on Monday may be different than the way you perceive it on Wednesday.
Spot on. Very well said. So spoke about AI efficiency. Again, I love how you want to use AI to create deeper bonds. But what has happened, Jeff? I don't know if you're following this. We're about technologies. We love this, but there's a lot of fear across America what AI is going to do to jobs.
Okay, well, that's a big topic. So this might be controversial, but I think it's way overblown. Well, so I guess there are two extremes here, right? You think about the Elon Musk extreme. I think he said, what, in 20 years, none of us will even work anymore. There'll be no money. I think it's like the Star Trek end game here.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that that's reasonable.
The humanoids will do everything.
Right.
The government will need to give us.
We're just going to go to the beach.
Universal income.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Let's put all that aside. I think if you look at the evolution of technology over the decades, it's pretty consistent pattern. People are nervous. People get scared. There's a lot of talk. Hey, I'm going to lose my job. Word processors versus typewriters versus computers versus all these things. But I think ultimately, what's the important part? If you are somebody who can be interested in the technology, learn how to use it, learn how to exploit it, you become a power holder rather than somebody who is pushed out of a job. So I think, yeah, if you resist, you might find yourself in trouble.
Yeah.
But if you embrace it and you are somebody who builds on top of it, that's the key to tomorrow. Right? That's the entrepreneurial spirit. That's what America is built on.
Yep.
And I think ultimately that's where we will be. I think we will have more jobs. We will have more fun jobs. We'll have more interesting jobs. Maybe better pay. We just have to take it and go with it.
And in there, can you talk more about the bond or the human connection, right? What are some of the areas that are very, very difficult for AI to automate over time?
Yeah, that's another really interesting topic. There's a lot of debate on that. One of the things that I ruminate on is some of these stories that you hear about AI therapists. It's a very interesting topic, right? Because obviously you hear some horror stories.
Yeah.
Right. We've heard a lot of bad stories about people done bad things because AI has told them to do it.
Yeah.
Okay. I have a lot of sympathy for that.
Yeah.
But what we also don't hear, though, is on the other side where AI has been such a help to so many people who have been in trouble. I know there's even my son, he talks with AI all the time. And I feel like it helps his attitude sometimes. He can walk through problems with AI and help figure them out. So like, what is the human bond? I'm not sure really where that goes, but I know that there's something there, and I know that there's a future there. And again, is like, how do you best exploit it to make the best out of it for society? I don't know. This is an interesting area,
and I guess nobody knows. That's the interesting place we live in right now. Nobody knows,
right?
And we're all figuring it out.
And that's the fun part about it.
Yes, that's the fun part. And
I think there have been plenty of technologies where, hey, they're cool. But are they approachable? Right? Can everybody just sort of pick it up and start using? Yeah, I guess like things like email.
Yeah.
Whatever. But I look at this as the same way, maybe as email or text messaging or whatever. You're a regular consumer. You don't need any special tools, any special accounts or whatever. For free, you can go to Google and you can start using AI and exploring with it. And if you're creative, you can use it all day long and never repeat yourself and really just chart your own path.
Yeah. Right. So the message I'm hearing, Jeff, is be unafraid.
I think so. And maybe I'm ignorant. I don't know. Yeah. There's always the Terminator thing.
Fair enough, right? Yeah, one of my favorite movies, by the way. Oh, I like Terminator 2 more. Terminator AI on AI
is definitely a better movie.
Thank you, Jeff. It's been such a pleasure to have you. I look forward to having you back. It's just a fast-moving space.
Yeah.
And the whole idea of this podcast that I started really to have these conversations. Because I think enough being talked about AI efficiency, again, not enough being talked about the human touch and the human bond. So please come back and we'll keep talking.
Oh, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Awesome. Fun. Awesome. So I hope you enjoyed that, sir.
Yeah, thanks. It was awesome.